Welcome back. After a cliffhanger that sat with us for 10 long days, Pluribus returned not with a simple answer, but with a profound and unsettling question. What is the true cost of survival when you are utterly, completely alone? Episode 6, titled HDP, is a masterpiece of emotional excavation. It uses its chilling central reveal, not for cheap horror, but as a scalpel to dissect the soul of our protagonist, Carol. We came for the mystery of the warehouse. We stayed for the devastating portrait of a woman, realizing she is the last rebel in a world that has peacefully, politely moved on without her. Let's begin at the beginning. In that crushing silence outside the Aggregat warehouse, creator Vince Gilligan has always been a maestro of sound, using absence to scream louder than any noise. Here, the soundscape is just crickets. That lonely, rhythmic chirping does three things at once. It establishes an eerie calm, yes, but more importantly, it screams isolation. There is no human sound, no traffic, no voices, just insects and one woman's ragged breathing. It visually frames Carol as a tiny, insignificant figure against a vast, dark building. A building holding a truth so awful, it will redefine her entire war. The genius of the reveal is in its perspective and pacing. We don't see it as an omniscient audience first. We see Carol's physical collapse, the retching, the trembling. We feel her dread before we know its source. Then, we are forced into her subjective, handheld camera view. This isn't just a stylistic choice, it's a psychological one. We aren't watching Carol discover something. We are, for those shaky, nauseating seconds, Carol discovering it. The pulsating drone on the soundtrack mirrors a racing heart, a countdown to trauma. And what do we see? Not monsters, not violence. Something worse. Cold, systematic efficiency. Neatly stacked, shrink-wrapped human limbs. A gleaming, industrial meat grinder. This isn't a crime of passion. It's a grim supply chain. The show presents this not as gore for gore's sake, but as the ultimate expression of the hive mind's ethos. Waste not, want not. For Carol, it's the ultimate violation, proof of a hidden monstrosity. For the hive, as we'll see, it's just a pragmatic solution to a math problem. This disconnect between human horror and inhuman logic is the bedrock of the entire episode. Fueled by righteous fury and this horrific evidence, Carol becomes a woman on a mission. She drives to Las Vegas, to the one other immune person she knows who seems to be engaging with the world, Koumba. In her mind, she carries the ultimate smoking gun. This will be the thing that rallies the troops, that proves her war is just. What she walks into is a surrealist play. Koumba's world at the Westgate is a carefully curated fantasy. He's surrounded by joined actors, playing poker, speaking French, fulfilling his every whim. It's a satire of the old world, a hedonistic paradise built on obedient puppets. The moment Carol arrives, breathless with the weight of her truth, the show delivers its most brutal emotional blow. Koumba barely looks up. Is this about them eating people? He asks, almost bored. With one line, Carol's entire crusade is deflated. Her world-shattering discovery is yesterday's news. But the deeper cut follows immediately. He reveals that the other 10 immune survivors, all of them, have been having twice-weekly meetings. They've formed a council, a society, and they have unanimously voted not to include her. Think about the profound loneliness of that. It's not that they haven't gotten her messages. They've received her desperate video pleas, discussed them, and collectively decided she is too disruptive, too angry, too much. She is exiled not by the enemy, but by her only potential allies. This is the episode's core tragedy. Her isolation is now institutionalized. This brings us to the bathroom scene. Carol doesn't scream. She doesn't break things. She slides down a wall of a ludicrously opulent bathroom and is racked by silent, heaving sobs. Ray Seahorn performs this with devastating precision. The tears are there, but they're choked back, held in by sheer force of will. It's the sound of a person realizing the walls of their world have closed in for good. She is alone against 7.3 billion. And then, the show delivers one of its most tonally audacious, genius sequences. To explain the HDP program, Koumba doesn't give a speech. He plays Carol a video, a corporate training video, and its spokesman is John Cena. Not the actor as himself, but the joined entity wearing his face, his smile, his trustworthy persona. The presentation is slick. There are graphics, a calm tone, logical bullet points. He explains the hive's dilemma with the sterile air of a CEO discussing a quarterly shortfall. They cannot harm any life. They can't pick a tomato because that hurts the plant. They can only consume what naturally falls. With billions to feed, mass starvation is inevitable. The deceased, therefore, become a necessary, renewable resource. Human-derived protein. It's pretty much what it sounds like. This scene is a masterstroke. It accomplishes several crucial things. 1. It depersonalizes horror. It takes an act that feels primal and evil to Carol and reframes it as a dry, logistical necessity. The horror is in the banal presentation. 2. It shows the hive's power. They don't just control bodies, they control narrative. They are expert communicators, using trusted human faces, like CENA'S, and rational arguments to disarm resistance. They are selling her on their own monstrosity. 3. It highlights the core conflict. This is the ultimate clash between Carol's human, emotional, messy morality and the hive's cold, flawless collective logic. Who is right? The show refuses to say. It only shows us that the hive's argument is terrifyingly coherent. In the ashes of her humiliation, Koumba hands Carol a lifeline, a game-changing piece of intelligence. The hive mind cannot assimilate the immune without their explicit consent. The process requires harvesting personalized stem cells, a painful procedure, and inflicting pain is against their prime directive. This isn't just a plot point. It's a profound shift in power dynamics. Carol's safety is no longer precarious. It is guaranteed by the enemy's own core programming. Her immediate guttural shout into the hive's voicemail, "I do not consent," is her most powerful and cathartic moment. It's a declaration of selfhood shouted into the void. It also recontextualizes the other immunes. They aren't cowards hiding. They are people making a conscious, safe choice to coexist. Carol's path of rebellion is just that, a choice. As she prepares to leave Las Vegas, she tentatively, pathetically, suggests maybe getting a suite in the hotel. Koumba's silence is a louder rejection than any word. He doesn't want her loneliness contaminating his fantasy. She is sent back into the abyss, armed with new security, but burdened by deeper desolation. But the episode hasn't forgotten her. In a parallel narrative, we cut to Manousos in Paraguay. We see the exact moment he receives and watches Carol's first video. His stoic, paranoid shell cracks. He hears her anger, her defiance, her confirmation that reversal is possible. For the first time, he hears that he is not alone. The reaction shot is everything. A flicker of awe, of hope, of purpose. His subsequent journey out of his bunker is a silent triumph. When a joined being wearing his mother's face approaches, offering help, he doesn't hesitate. "You're not my mother. My mother's a bitch." It's a line that cuts to the heart of the show. The hive can mimic form, but it cannot replicate the messy, painful, real history of human relationships. He drives off, a lone headlight cutting through the South American night, heading toward the only other person who seems to understand that some things are worth fighting for, even in a peaceful world. Before we go, we must talk about the visual language of this episode, because it's screaming a theme. Throughout HDP, director Gilligan and his cinematographer make a radical shift. They consistently place the subject, Carol, Manousos, a doorway, a plate of food, dead center of the frame. This is a stark departure from the show's usual off-kilter, asymmetrical style. Why? It symbolizes focus, crystallization. The chaos of the initial outbreak, the frantic searching, is over. For Carol, the world has narrowed to a single awful truth and a single solitary path forward. Her mission is now centered, clear, and hopelessly lonely. For Manousos, his purpose has finally clicked into focus. Find her. The centered frame tells us their wandering is over. Their paths are set. And by the end, the editing tells us these two centered, focused paths are on a collision course. So what did we witness in HDP? We did not witness a simple horror reveal. We witnessed the systematic deconstruction of a hero's support system. We witnessed evil justify itself with impeccable logic. We witnessed the difference between loneliness and true, profound isolation. The episode leaves Carol with a Pyrrhic victory. She is safe, she is right, and she is more alone than any human in history. But across a continent, A spark she ignited is now a moving flame, driving toward her through the darkness. The final shot isn't of Carol. It's of Manousos' taillights. Pluribus tells us that even in the loneliest world, the most human instinct, to find your tribe, to connect, might just be the thing that refuses to die.